Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest Ceday first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, one thing I always tell y'all is that jail is a place where you're definitely going to be able to see who your friends truly are. See, there's a difference between friends and associates, where a lot of guys think that they have friends until they get into a jam or a serious situation where they need them same friends and they realize that they were really never friends. All they were associates. Another thing about jail is out of sight, out of mind. Everybody loves you when you're on the outside and when they can see you, because at the end of the day, they have to deal with you because you are seen in the physical. But what happens when you're no longer around and they actually have to reach out to you or do things for you and you have to rely on them? What happens when those friends are put in positions to actually be a friend? Now, it's easy to call somebody a friend on the outside because when everything is going good, there's really no need for them. It's when you actually need them, it's when they show their true colors, and then at that point, it's way too late. And I think this is the case here with Ceday 22. And not just Ceday 22, because what's happening is he's trying to advocate for D Rose, which is another 600 member, and stating that he needs a lawyer and he needs a lawyer fast. Now, what he's making it seem like is nobody's picking up the phones. I guess these guys are going on deaf ears. And like I said before, out of sight, out of mind. It's easier to ignore you when you're not around and can't do nothing, and you got to depend on these guys that you call friends. Well, also, what happens when them same guys that you call friends is all over social media, flaunting money, showing cars, living the high life, houses, jewelry, materialistic things, designer clothes, the whole 9 yards. Meanwhile, they have somebody that's incarcerated that was once a member of the same set that they rep, in need of a lawyer. Now, you know what the problem is? A lot of the times these guys, they ride for these sets, they ride for the gang, they doing it for their block, the whole 9 yards. But the problem is these guys lose their lives, whether it's to a jail cell or a casket, and before they get to really learn life lessons, they crash out and do things that they shouldn't be doing, and they're locked up for a long time, or even worse, they lose their life. But at that point, it's too late, because you have to realize who them friends that you call friends really are, and sometimes they aren't who you think they actually are. Anyway, I say all that to say this. We see these guys, we think that they're handling their friends the right way and doing the right thing because we see they flaunting money, but on the inside, it's a whole total different story. Now, for y'all that don't know, Ceday is currently being incarcerated and serving a whole bunch of time after him and Rondo number 9 was accused of allegedly taking a cab driver's life after the cab driver was accused of being the one that set up their fellow 600 member, L.A. Capone. Now, the rumor has it L.A. Capone was coming out the studio when he was shot and unalived, and everybody pointing fingers at the taxi driver saying that he did it, he dropped his location, but unfortunately, they found out that that wasn't true, which means that the taxi driver actually lost his life for no reason. Now, it's been a little over a decade that these guys have already been arrested and locked up for that whole situation, but they're still standing strong and they're still trying to fight that case. However, Ceday today is not advocating for himself, as he's trying to advocate for another 600 member by the name of D Rose. Now, D Rose is currently incarcerated because he was accused of shooting and unaliving a 14-year-old in Chicago back in 2014 by the name of Vinzel Richardson. Now, police reports say that on February 12, 2014, Richardson and his friends were leaving a store and walking south in the 6100 block of South Vernon when a white minivan pulled up alongside of them. Prosecutors believe it was D Rose that slid the passenger side door open and fired a handgun aiming at Richardson and a group of friends multiple times. Richardson wasn't a known GD according to reports. However, he was just another casualty in the BD and GD war at the time, being that he was from Ops territory and lived on 64th in St. Lawrence. Richardson suffered 4 gunshot wounds, which included 1 to the back of his head. He ran into a gangway but collapsed as he ran and was pronounced deceased there at around 8:25 p.m. D. Rose would be later identified by witnesses in a photo array and was arrested a month after the fatal shooting. Now, rumor has it that D. Rose isn't the one that fired the shots that unalived Richardson, but many believe due to the street code and not snitching, D. Rose was forced to take the charge and he was hit with first-degree M. Now, ironically, in that case, he was once accused, but then somehow cleared of it, meaning that he wasn't accused after. But then for some reason, a Cook County jury decided to convict him on September 15th, 2016. Now, in the past, he was already falsely accused of unaliving popular GD member Little JoJo back in 2012, but he was then cleared from that. So maybe police was already onto him for that because they feel he got off lucky and dodged a bullet. Now, throughout the years, people are saying that D. Rose just needed the right lawyer so he could properly defend him and get him off the case, being that it's little to no evidence that says D. Rose was a suspect except for a witness from a photo array. Now, this brings us to Ceday and him bringing light on the situation with D. Rose, being that he's been sitting in jail for a long time, just needing the right lawyer to properly represent him. Today, Ceday took it upon himself to take to his Instagram story and talk about the guys, being that they're not trying to help him and he's been trying to reach out to get help for D. Rose. He would take to his Instagram story to say, quote, "I've been calling and texting, trying to get in touch with you for years now. Since I can't get in touch with you on the phone, I had to reach out on Instagram. It's sad. I've been trying to reach out for our brother D. Rose. He need a lawyer. It's a deadline on this ish. Seem like the internet the only time I'll get a response out of you N-words. Hashtag free the real at Booka600 Booka." Now, it looks like he's not just talking about all the guys. He's singling out Booka of OTF, for y'all that don't know, OTF and 600. But he's pretty much reaching out to him and he's saying, yo, listen, D. Rose need a lawyer. How y'all out here showing money, showing cars, showing y'all just living y'all best life while somebody who was front line for y'all is sitting in jail, and all it takes is the possibility of having a good lawyer that may potentially get him out of there. So he said he's reaching out. He said he's been trying to call Booka for the longest, but I guess Booka been ignoring him. So he said he had to turn to Instagram. As y'all know, a lot of the times, people may ignore you in the personal, but when you bring things to social media, you get a response out of them because they don't like to look crazy in front of people online. And it sounds crazy, but that's the times we live in it. They may ignore you in the personal, but once you bring something to social media to protect their image and protect who they are, and they don't want to look crazy in front of their fans or supporters and their friends, so you'll get a quicker response out of them if you blow everything up and bring drama to social media, unfortunately. Sometimes that's what it takes, and it's sad, but he's trying to get a response, and he's saying he's been trying to call. He hasn't been saying anything publicly, even though he did interviews. He could have been blew it up, but he said for years he's been trying to reach out, and Booka hasn't been reaching back. Now, I don't know if he's just, bringing all this animosity towards Big Booka, or if he's doing it towards Lil Durk and other guys that's involved, because let's be real, they were all friends. So it's not just Booka. At the end of the day, y'all all flaunting money. Y'all all seem like y'all got enough money. How about we all put together 20,000 or 50,000 or however much it takes for the lawyer to get this man out, or at least try. But to leave your friend sitting in jail, knowing that you didn't do as much as you could have did to at least try to get him out, that would make me feel away, right? Knowing that I got the money, knowing that I could have at least tried. And let this be a lesson to all you kids coming up, or even some of the guys that are of age. When you putting in all this work, you an outstanding member, you loyal to your gang, just know that it's a possibility that them same people is not going to have your back as much as you think they are. It's a possibility that them same guys is not going to ride as hard as you would for them. And it's sad, but you will only realize that when it's too late. You will only realize that when you're in a casket or when you're behind bars for 20, 30, 40 years. All right. So that's pretty much it, man. Hopefully this brings awareness. Hopefully this can actually get a response out of Booka to respond to Ceday, and somehow this man get a lawyer, or at least a dying shot at the possibility of a fair chance. You know, I don't know what type of lawyer he had, but 9 times out of 10, if Ceday is saying that he needs a lawyer, that means whatever lawyer he went in there with wasn't the right lawyer, and they know that if you get the right lawyer to do the right things, they could get him off. Right? Some of these guys already beat bodies. OTF Didi, Bezu, Vaughn. Like, it's certain things that can be done, you know, but if you got the proper help. If you don't got the proper help, then it just is what it is, and you just send up a river. So I guess that's what Ceday is saying. He's just trying to get enough help for D Rose, and you know, 9 times out of 10, he probably feel, listen, y'all know what really went on behind the scenes, so to leave this man just in there high and dry is messed up if he really didn't do it. Right? So that's another story. But anyway, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.